London-themed ball in game. It's been hit or miss with some fans. I absolutely love it, and I love this matchup on paper.
I love it. Oh, early chance for Abjack here. He's denied by the recovered Vitality player. And let's see what Gen.G are all about here. They've been struggling in the tail end of this split. They were able to win the first event back, and as were Vitality. Both these teams, in fact, won the Open Qualifier number 4 for their respective regions. And then it went downhill, although Vitality's losses were to teams you kind of expect them to have close matches with. Gen.G were so dominant for the rest of the year that their losses come as a bit more of a surprise.
So often these teams get compared to like a G2, especially Gen.G getting compared to G2 throughout the entire year. Chronic has that waterfall down and it's cleared away. And where both teams struggled early in their first round matchup, we saw G2 absolutely dominate in round 2. Gen.G has to kind of match that because they cannot afford to fall behind Vitality. Any sign of weakness, this team is going to pounce on.
I feel like this series alone can completely swing the narrative around Gen.G back into a positive light. Lots of questions being asked about this team. Some people are even asking, are they still top 2 NA with Space Station's rise in the second split? I personally think they are, and they're already knocking on the door of Vitality's net. Teams look evenly matched so far. But just one series win here, I think, would propel Gen.G back into contention. If you don't already think this team can win the event, beating Vitality in Swiss would probably push you over the edge and add them to your list of contenders.
Chronic taken out by Alpha, and Alpha's got that clear away as well. So now first killer looking for Chronic again, back into the play. First killer can't get around on a shot. Apparently Jack will come join the fray, and Zen and Radosin have that one swept out to the corner. Shot after shot, opportunity after opportunity, but nothing too threatening. And then on the other side, Radosin just tap dances around G2.
Yeah, Gen.G had constant pressure there, but they got a little bit overextended. And Radosin's done brilliantly there, passing to himself off the backboard to outplay apparently Jack, who had the boost advantage on him. And Radosin slots the open net comfortably down the middle, starts bouncing on his chair in celebration. Vitality off to the perfect start in game 1.
I knew I was going to do that. Yes, around Gen.G. Gen.G is definitely the team that's playing that Radosin beat all by himself, and he almost beat him single-handedly again, as Zen had to come in as well. Could not convert, and apparently Jack has that one just away, but not really in a threatening position for Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing. I'll get it right at some point during this series.
Is that a little bit of a leak there, Stacks? Have you given us a little bit of a look into what's to come later on in the tournament? And there is still a chance that we could have Vitality match up against G2 if they win this one in a close series. Then there is a chance they could play in round 3 of Swiss tomorrow. That would be exciting. Not for Gen.G fans though. I'm sure they would love to see Gen.G match up against G2. They've had a good matchup when they have played the last 4 or 5 times. That's also on the cards, all depending on how close the series is. Oh, apparently Jack's come off the ceiling here. Couldn't reach it, the ball dropped down too fast.
All about matchups, all about game scores from this point on, and all the tiebreakers that come into play. Whether or not you won the previous round or you're coming from the loser's end. Here goes Alpha over towards Zen, and apparently Jack in the way. See if Gen.G can get just a little bit of sustained offense here against Vitality. They're gonna have to score on second and third chance opportunities unless they can get a real cheeky opening shot. Zen going to work again through Jack. Alpha 54 is there, he'll circle around, give away to Radosin, and that just kind of fell apart for Vitality.
Well, apparently Jack was one of the pros with the highest praise for Zen before Zen debuted. No, what pass that is by
my
Zen.
Gosh.
Radosin finishes it off, but how about this for an angle pass, double tap mid from Zen. He put that on target, and Radosin was there to make sure.
The whole time I'm looking at that like, I mean, the net's open. There's no way he scores it. And then, you know, I had to remind myself, it is Zen. He gets just an assist for that play, but a 2-0 lead for Vitality. Threatening for another here as Radosin goes smartly over to the corner. Keeps possession alive for Vitality. Zen all the way across. And right now, it's like Gen.G is just trying to chase its own tail and coming nowhere close to catching up.
Vitality can keep up the consistency. They're going to be tough to beat. But here comes Gen.G. 3v0. Zen stops them all. Oh my goodness. What a defensive play by Zen. And Radosin has got a hat trick on the counter.
Unbelievable. Zen just tops it. And Radosin watches it roll home. And all apparently Jack can do is shake his head like, what do you want me to do?
I mean, what on earth is that play by Zen? He has just created a goal out of one of the most tough defensive plays you're going to be in. I mean, we see pros tweet about this all the time, just screenshots from scrims where they're being hunted by 3 players ahead of the ball, as if to say, well, what are you supposed to do against that? Well, I guess Zen just laid the blueprint. Not just a save, but a clear ball as well. 3-0. And with Zen playing like this, if the rest of Vitality, Radosin and Alpha can show up with any semblance of their consistent selves, this team is going to be a real contender. Zen makes it 4. That is a statement game by Vitality's talisman Zen as they completely mop the floor with Gen.G.
The last one broke their spirits for this game. That one could do a lot more damage. 4-0 now to Team Vitality. We mentioned it earlier, Johnny, the team that's most likely to sweep, if it's going to be one, is in fact Vitality. Radosin adds one as well. Hey, we've seen multiple players score 5 goals in a game today. That's 4 for Radosin.
And Zen again with the assist. I mean, Radosin's got 4 goals, and they're all in Gen.G's net. Probably the most surprising stat about that fact.
Give the poor guy a break. 13 seconds. Can he get a 5th? That's the only drama that has been there for the outset for Team Vitality and anybody here in game 1. Zen, decent challenge. Alpha's there. Radosin waiting in behind. Ball touches down. There will be no... And a goal and playmaker. 3 assists out of Zen. All in game 1. Let's see what game 2 brings us now at the Temple.
Radosin boostless, able to find Alpha with the defensive touch, and those are key defensive touches, making sure that you don't just poke the ball towards an opponent. Having those outlet pass options, always helpful in those situations when you're running dry and a hard clear is not possible. Zen doing the same things. Alpha lurking at the side there, being a passing option in defense that his teammate has to aim for.
Quickly on target as Chronic has to make a save right at the goal line and then eats a demolition for his efforts. Radosin dishing that off initially, and he's right back onto the play. Off from the side, up top, first killer there to meet him, and then it just kicks back out. And boy, he had first killer just waiting on the back wall. I don't even think Radosin actually touched that down, just kind of taking advantage of first killer's shadow defense on the backboard.
That's nice passing on the transition by Gen.G though. First killer to Jack first of all, who then brought Chronic into the game. Well, again, it's another an attack for Gen.G. It does not create a real scoring opportunity. Vitality going the other way are getting very realistic chances to score, and it looks once again like they are the more clinical team. They've not scored yet, but they are knocking on the door here. Gen.G yet to figure out a way to just be comfortable in defense against this team.
When Vitality plays, it almost looks like every field is the old wasteland. Everything just kind of funnels in towards the center, as that one does as well. Radosin shot saved away by apparently Jack. He'll give way to Chronic, who did not get a clean touch on that at all. Zen and Radosin up. Alpha coming in as well, and Chronic set that out indirect for apparently Jack to run onto, and he eventually will, though it took a bit of a detour on the way.
Yeah, it looked like Abjack might have team bumped Chronic on the last attempt to get a counter-attack started for Gen.G. Those are mistakes you can't afford to make. Zen drop down pass, Radosin 50-50, and a follow-up shot into the open parts of the net. Radosin scores again, and it's still all Vitality.
Sometimes Radosin has games or days where he can do no wrong, and he has done very little wrong here in this series so far. Perfect drop-down pass right in front of him, and he eventually cleans it up. Alpha now has that ricochet off a defender, and Radosin's there. Alpha will bail out of the play for the moment, and then right when Gen.G thinks, okay, we got a little bit of space. Nuh-uh, not so fast, my friend. Here comes Zen, here comes Vitality yet again, and Alpha was waiting for a wayward rebound.
Just has full control, Zen. He's going for a back corner double, of course. Why not in this instance? He feels like he's running hot, so he's going to go for any play that is humanly possible. and probably even beyond humanly possible when we're talking about Zen. Is he human? At times, we do have to ask ourselves that question. Gen.G looking for a chance to equalize. I do say looking for a chance because that seems to be the first objective for them right now, is just create a goal-scoring chance. Vitality slowed the game down well here. This is frustrating for Gen.G. Redosin faking it out to let Alpha come in and get a free touch, and here comes Redosin again. Dealt with well by Chronic.
It's got to be frustrating too for Gen.G because you're going up against a player like what we saw with Beast Mode a little while ago. I mean, just go for everything until they give you a reason to respect them. And that's exactly what Vitality's waiting for. Waiting for Gen.G to throw a punch back. A few light jabs, but that's about it. As this falls towards the net, and Redosin tried to leave it for Zen, and he sailed it high. More possession though, a smart pass all the way back to Alpha 54. More possession again for Vitality. They are just wearing out Gen.G. It's a 1-0 game, Johnny, and it feels like it's 3.
Yeah, they're just pressing. It might be 3 if they keep going like this. The amount of chances Vitality are able to create. The passing's been fantastic. Gen.G have not had the same kind of synergy. There's a little bit of anti-synergy though from Vitality as Redosin and Alpha get in each other's way. Hasn't led to a goal for Gen.G. But those are the kind of plays you don't want to see out of Vitality. You don't want to see them getting in each other's way. They've spread out really well. They've been synergizing brilliantly and producing something close to their best. 44 seconds to go. Gen.G still scoreless in all of 2 games.
Oh, Chronic drew 1, but Zen with the save. First killer going after Redosin, can't catch him. And now apparently Jack burns all his boost to keep that play alive. Kicks back out and just past Jack. Over to first killer, back to Chronic, and Gen.G tie the game.
Huge momentum swing there for Gen.G as first killer and Chronic combined with the 1-2 passing play. And Zen couldn't get there in time. Equalizer for Gen.G after nearly 10 minutes without a goal. They've got a chance now to tie the series.
1-1 with 26 seconds. And while it may have felt like 3-0, 1 strike was all Gen.G needed. They've got it, but now they got to defend here for the last 15 seconds, perhaps. Redosin slips one through. First killer can only watch it go by, and a little bit of frustration.
I mean, he just goes. Chronic can easily beat Redosin to that ball, but he thought Redosin would know that and therefore back off. But Redosin knows that Chronic knows he could beat into the ball, so he just went for it. Genius ball chase by Redosin, and now the half-float kickoff comes through for Vitality. They're into midfield play so without a scathe, and they could be about to take a 2-0 lead.
He's earning his salary here. 6 out of the 7 goals that Team Vitality have scored have come from Redosin, and that second one, is it enough to hang on in game 2? Apparently, Jack floater saved away. Zen has all the cards. They'll bring it down to ground, but not quite. Desperation station now for Gen.G. It's a mad scramble trying to keep this in the air. Redosin going deep downfield, and first killer can't keep it up. So Team Vitality 1 win away. Redosin, the respect that he has earned. Here we go. Game 3, part 2, as we reset from a 5-minute kickoff, and it is Vitality with triple match point behind 6 goals from Redosin. Zen through the corner. One more touch. Oh, he's put it on target and in! Are you kidding?
I mean, Gen.G had all the time to watch this one go in, but that didn't give them any more of a chance to save it. Zen has just pulled a shot out of nowhere. Jack and first killer were both between the ball and the goal, but they had no idea Zen was able to get under it and put that on target.
That's the 2nd goal in a row that's been scored from that area where first killer's been able to make a play on it and just fooled by it. As Zen will pop one away. And now Alpha hard to the back wall and cleared out by first. But that doesn't do anything. It gives the ball right back to Vitality. Now Gen.G's back on it. Jack has first killer at midfield. He had to avoid a bump and gets back into the play. And Jack can't tuck that in on the near side. Oh, everything coming up Vitality.
Oh, coming to a YouTube video near you on Jack's channel. And it's an open net for me to miss, of course, as he just completely blunders it into the post. It looked harder to miss than it was to score, but he's found a way. And it's at the worst possible time when Gen.G are really struggling, and that would have given them some much-needed life to give them Plenty time left in the game. Grab an equalizer. Really put the pressure on Vitality.
Another bouncer.
Surely.
This
Okay.
time, first killer will convert. You don't expect a ball to come out that cleanly off the bounce, but nobody could catch up to it. Alpha just missed on it, and first killer converts.
Yeah, Alpha thought he could pre-flip and then catch that at the end of his flip to just deflect it into the back corner. The ball was moving a bit faster than he thought, though, so he didn't get anything on it. That left it uncontested for first killer, who could see that Alpha cannot get back to this. He had flipped already. That communicated to FK, okay, this is just a free shot. I can take my time. Gen.G tie it. They could easily be in front now, and they might be after Jack's done with them in this play. There we go. Just put a goalie in the net, and Jack has a much easier time scoring.
And thought there was going to be an assist on this play because you could see Chronic coming up, but no, apparently Jack takes it himself cleanly through, and Gen.G have a very rare lead in this series.
Yeah, it's a chance to make this the first Alt-Stream series that has not ended in a sweep. Gen.G do not look comfortable in this matchup, though, and there's a long time left on the clock, so I would be surprised if 2-1 is the final score we have.
Now, plenty more to go here. Alpha with Radosin behind him, and why not maybe feed the hot hand? Apparently Jack is there. First killer, just high of the target, and Zen not giving Gen.G the rebound they were looking for. He's still downfield. He grabbed the full boost. Radosin's up as well. Can he tap it down? No, it's saved away.
Oh, it's a nice play by Jack to bait Alpha in and take the ball past him. Zen's actually not caught this cleanly. Radosin to the rescue. Gen.G would absolutely love to have a 2-goal lead right now in a matchup that has really not gone their way today. Is this it? No, it's off the bar, and Zen was there anyway.
Well, now it is Vitality that's looking like they don't have the same comfort level as they had in the first couple of games. I think they realize now that Gen.G, kind of similar to how G2 has progressed throughout the day, getting better over time. And it may be just enough to prolong this series. What a bump. And now pass across, and apparently Jack was too far behind it.
A good spell of play from Gen.G. Got Vitality backed up into a corner here. Backboard just reached in time by Radosin to deny the free bounce. Still 2 minutes to go. Gen.G knocking, looking for that 2-goal advantage. Vitality being tested in defense, but here comes the defensive transition. Zen in front of the ball. Alpha cuts in front of him, and in comes Radosin, who can't stop scoring today. This time gets it double the wrong way.
Coming up on a minute and a half remaining in a closeout opportunity for Team Vitality. Alpha, not cleanly through. Not many looks at the Gen.G net, not nearly as many as they'd like to have. Still only need just a small opening. Any mistake from Gen.G, oh, clever play up on the backboard, but well defended by first killer. He can start the counterattack, looking for help. Instead, gonna call his own number and is sent away from the crossbar.
It's 1 minute to go. Gen.G are inching closer and closer to that first win, and Jack with a statement goal. This is more like it from Gen.G. Double tap across the goal, in at the far post, over Zen's head. I mean, it's a very polarizing game for Jack. Open net, no, can't do it, impossible. Zen in goal, easy peasy, 2 of 2. Gen.G up by 2 in just barely over a minute left. It's confirmed as well. Falcons in 5 against BDS. Overtime win there. What a stunning match over on the A stream. Falcons again going the distance with the EU 1 seed in round 2 of Swiss.
Game 4 for the first time looming here on the alternate stream as we try to close things out. Gen.G, after a couple brilliant goals from Jack, trying to prolong their life in this matchup, and Jack almost caught up to that one as well. But it may be a counterattack opportunity, though Jack's jumped right back into the play. And Alpha put the brakes on in the center of the field. Might have tried to go up after that ball, then Zen jumped in, and again, things are, I don't want to say falling apart for Vitality, but they're not falling into place as smoothly as they have been for the first 10 minutes of this series. Gen.G has battled back. That pass won't reach Alpha, and we'll get to the final 10 seconds, and Gen.G and their fans can finally breathe a little bit easier. We will have a 4th game in this final match of round 2 as Gen.G punches back.
And that is huge. Yeah, Vitality have been in this position many times. They're an incredibly experienced team. In fact, as a trio, they've got to be the most experienced trio that still exists, with every other team changing pretty much coming into this season. So this will not be a problem for them in that respect. But the issues Vitality have had this season is just losing that mojo, losing that feeling that they are just the best team in the pitch. And they're conceding again here. First Killer's going to take it after Jack sent it on target with a clean beat on a committed Radosin. Great speed by Jack. And First Killer there stat pad a little bit.
Well, Gen.G have, again, the full run of things right now in this series. After Vitality was so dominant, outscoring them 7-1 in the first couple of games, Zen can't add one back. First Killer must have got a piece of that, just keeping the young prodigy out of the net. And now here goes Alpha on the counterattack, and that one saved away as well.
Oh.
Stopped at the goal line, and Gen.G can't make any mistakes.
That's a great save by Chronic. He jumped early, but managed to keep the ball with him as he landed. And who's up to stop Zen? Full pitch air dribble attempt from him. Chronic managed to avoid the bump and get a piece of it, but that's only led to Alpha, who's faked it out to get Radosin into the play. Gen.G just starting to play the ball more, though. They're not waiting to see whether or not Vitality are faking it.
Yep.
They're just playing the ball. And if Vitality are faking, it doesn't matter.
Vitality was picking Gen.G apart earlier, knowing they had so many options. And Gen.G, where they've utilized that quite a bit on the North American side, wise to the game plan. They have changed things up. Vitality trying to answer, though. Radosin runs out of boost. Jack is right there, so is Zen. One-on-one with Chronic. Zen's going to win that one. It's down in front, but cleared away just ahead of an oncoming shot.
Well, in surprise to absolutely no one, Zen still looks dangerous every time he touches the ball. Radosin's had a good series so far. I do want to see more from Alpha 54. My one complaint about Vitality is that we've not seen a whole lot of Alpha 54 in offense. And very much when everything got down to the wire in the highest pressure situations on their incredible run at the tail end of last season, it was very often Alpha 54 stepping up and putting goals in the opponent's net, setting up his teammates. Is he going to be able to do that right now? So it's seemingly heavily reliant on Zen's playmaking, as it so often is. It's not a bad thing to have Zen as your main playmaker, but we all know what Alpha can do. Just put him near a wall, soon enough you'll see him in the ceiling. Gen.G have slowed the game down brilliantly here. They're letting the clock do some work for them. Frustrated Vitality as they keep them scoreless for the longest time that they have in any game this series.
Another one saved away by Zen, more importantly over towards Alpha, but he's demolished. So possession goes right back to Gen.G. They bring it back in, and it's off to the left. Chronic's got to wait on it, and that little hesitation that he needed to have gave Vitality enough time to get reset. And they could have been under a lot of duress. Instead, just a routine defensive effort. Here they come on the counter. It's Radosin from the corner. Nothing else there thanks to a demo at midfield. And Zen doing all he can to keep Jack away from the play. First Killer now gets bumped back, and Vitality get just the briefest of reprieves, but it is not much to rest on because Gen.G just keep forcing the issue. And where Vitality had about 80% of control early in this series, they've got absolutely none.
I mean, right now, Vitality look like they've got one very small corner of the net, heavily defended there. I mean, you put a box around all their players, it wouldn't have to be a very big box. They're all stacking one area, and Gen.G still get a goal in the scramble. Vitality, a disorganized mess on that last play. Suddenly, a reverse sweep looks extremely on the cards.
Got to get to game 5 first, where we hadn't had anything past game 3 over on this side of things. Now our final match of the day could very well be headed to Champions Field. And that's great, because after hearing Shogun all day in his voice, we are going to Champions Field, we might actually be heading there. Zen has other plans. Over 1, but not 2, as First Killer makes the save.
Wasn't bad. Needs a little bit of work. You need a bit more northern accent maybe involved in that. Then you'll be bang on for Shogun there. Pitch was perfect. Oh, Alpha 54 is perfect with a shot bottom corner. 52 seconds to go. It is going to be Alpha 54 to get on the score sheet. But Zen with the fake to drop it down to him. Apparently Jack tracking high had nothing for Alpha's shot.
I'm not going to pull back the curtain behind the scenes. I'm not going to explain that Dazarin was doing a bit of a victory dance at 2-0. That did not happen, Gen.G fans, under any circumstances. This goes across and it's cleared back out to midfield. First Killer doing all he can to keep it in play. But Team Vitality maybe starting to wrest control back in this game. Oh, no, thank you. First Killer puts it away.
Well, before Vitality can think about an equalizer, First Killer comes in with a flip reset and a finish that none of them saw coming. And it's Gen.G leading by 2 late on in the game for the second game in a row. They have absolutely turned the series on its head. Looked like a sweep, and now suddenly Vitality in shambles.
Clowns to the left of us and Jokers to the right as Game 5 seems more inevitable than ever. First Killer waiting for a pass to come back to him. They still have some work to do Gen.G. 15 seconds. Zen trying to take charge, and then all he can do is just watch for a few seconds as he respawns, and that time is going to evaporate rather quickly. Final countdown on Utopia. Gen.G has come back with a vengeance and sent us to Champions Field.
And this really didn't seem like this.
Champions of the Rotterdam Major in Gen.G going to work now on Champions Field.
Yeah, First Killer, the only player on the pitch to not win an RLCS LAN. He has come so close. He had a 2-1 lead on Karmi Corp in the Winter Major just last season before KC ran away with it. This is the best team he's ever had around him.
Yes.
And looking at their Game 7 loss to Gentlemates, the eventual winners of Copenhagen, I think we can all safely say, yeah, they were definitely in with a chance of winning that one. So they, you know, can assert themselves here with just one more win here against Vitality, EU Qual 4 champions. What a bounce back that would be in more than one way.
Radosin very quiet after 6 goals in the first 2 games. To be fair, all of Vitality has gone quiet. They need him to pick it back up, or somebody else has to make a spectacular play. It's the only way they're going to get through Gen.G with any amount of confidence. Apparently Jack through the air, Chronic falling in behind him. Goes right at Zen. That sends Chronic in retreat mode. And that means First Killer's got to wait, and Radosin tried to screen him away from the play. First Killer got around. This ricochets back to the net, and still saved away at the last moment.
Gen.G keep it level for now. Now here comes apparently Jack. First Killer circling ahead of the ball in midfield just to box Vitality players out of the play, but Radosin enters it anyway. It's Alpha asked to make a play in defense. He tries to drop it to Zen, who does get there, but Gen.G were closer to that one. Now Zen in front of the ball. Backboard well defended. First Killer consistent as always when called upon in defense.
First Killer after the demo by Jack. He can still turn around on this, but can't get that back on target. Just didn't have the angle for it. Here goes Chronic. Demos all over. That one blocked away by Alpha 54. First Killer and Chronic kind of deciding who's going to take charge, and that took a little too long to develop. So even though the physical play is coming out for Gen.G, they haven't been able to capitalize on their opportunities as Radosin blows up that one.
A great interception by Radosin. Didn't have boost, but he had enough momentum to get in the way and take that away from Gen.G. Now lob pass towards Alpha 54. Dunk on target, and it's in. As the last man can't get there, Vitality against the run of play get the opening goal.
It is Alpha. What a challenge. And if you're apparently Jack, I mean, you almost have to wait a beat to see where that's going, then to read and react. Just couldn't get back in time.
I'm not sure why Chronic went so high on that aerial contest. Honestly, he was at least equal to Alpha 54 to the ball, but he went way too high, giving Alpha 54 the chance to just put it straight in. I mean, maybe he's thinking Alpha's going to poke this into the ceiling, but he read it wrong, and the bigger threat was obviously the direct shot.
Well, it's been a while since Vitality has had a lead in this series. They've watched their 2-game lead dissipate. And now Chronic lob it across to the weak side. First killer waiting, stole the corner boost, but did not get the ball. He's still there with the ball in play.
Oh my.
It pinballs around, Chronic's shot is blocked away at the last moment by Zen. Boy, Gen.G really throwing everything and the kitchen sink at Vitality, but unable to break through.
Yeah, boost a real problem there for Vitality, but once again, they've gotten away with a hard clear, despite that fact. Minute and 40 on the clock. Gen.G have massively increased their offensive output, but now they're up against it in defense. First killer again with a huge save. But they need it clear right now. They need to buy some time for them to pick up boost pads. Zen side will double attempt. It's on target. Of course it is. Saved by the bar. Zen and first killer have both put up huge stops in defense in the lowest scoring game of the entire series.
First killer trying to pop that over Alpha along the wall. Does not work. And Chronic just has to rotate out. First killer's all the way back. He's got apparently Jack coming back to the net, so too is Chronic, but you're seeing Gen.G just hesitating a little bit now as they try to break out of the zone.
Whoa.
That one dropped down in front, and Zen not quite in position for it. Well read by Gen.G, good reactions. Now can they get something on the other side? Huge pop, still available, and Alpha has that shepherded away.
Oh, Jack did very well there. He managed to get the ball past Zen, but there was just nothing going as no one is over there in the far post ready to attack the ball early. Gen.G queuing up behind it, expecting the ball to go more directly into the backboard. Defensive drop down by Chronic towards first killer, and Radosin's going to pounce on it. Backboard double, make it a triple with a reset. It's on, but saved. As first killer again adds to his saves tally.
They need him to add to the goals tally. Here's Chronic though. Opportunity's gone just wide. And no follow-up coming with only 18 seconds left. Apparently Jack tried to lob it through. Chronic is over there, double. No, he left it for first killer, and it's still deflected out. Zen with that save, 7 seconds.
Oh.
Jack going into the bag of tricks, nothing there. 3 seconds, Alpha's gotta just let this go. Zen through first killer, and now Gen.G's gonna keep it in the air. 0-second drill, very few forward now. Loose ball, apparently Jack keeps it in the air, but Radosin, how fitting that it's Radosin with the last challenge, and the pop-off from Vitality staving off.